Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Can we start our webinar, Mr. Safrizal?
Okay. Let me start, Mbak Mita.
Okay. Yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming to our international seminar with Professor Abu Hanifah Ayub from Malaysia. And here we have our Vice Rector, Dr. Hafrizal Handra. So we already have our special guest, Professor Abu Hanifah Ayub. So just for information, ladies and gentlemen, our participants today in this seminar international is coming from lecturers and also students from Universitas Andalas, and also students and lecturers from the other university around Indonesia. And also Professor Abu Hanifah Ayub told me that there are some participants who wants to join with our international seminars from Malaysia. Thank you very much for all of the people from Malaysia, especially for the students and also for the lecturers. So I don't want to give so many words and so many speech. So our event today, I'll give the event to our special moderator, Bapak atau Sir Safrizal. So Mr. Safrizal, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Mita. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Firstly, we would like thanks to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala who blessed us that make us can attend this webinar this morning, and salawat and salam to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Allahumma shalli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Thank you, our honorable to Vice Rector, in this case represented by Pak Dr. Hafrizal Handra, Vice Rector for planning, and then our honorable to our special our special presenter, Prof. Abu Hanifah, and then our honorable to Vice Dean of Fakultas Economic and Business, Pak Dr. Ma'ruf, our honorable to other speaker, Pak Dr. Donar, Bu Desi Kunyasari, and Pak Ma'ruf also as penanggap for this webinar, and of course our honorable to all of the participant, lecturer, student from Andalas and other university, including University Kebangsaan Malaysia as well. Okay, I think to open to open our seminar, we asked Dr. Hafrizal Handra, Vice Rector 4, to give opening speech, and as well as to formally open our webinar this morning. Time we give to Pak Dr. Hafrizal Handra. Please, Pak WR4.
Thank you. Thank you, Pak Dr. Safrizal. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Good morning to all of us, our distinguished guest, Professor Abu Hanifah Ayub from University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Good morning, Professor. And then our lecturers from Faculty of Economic and Business, Andalas, Associate Professor Donald Games, and then Pak Ma'ruf, PhD, and then also Dr. Desi Kurniasari. And first of all, I would like to thank for your availability, your time availability for this seminar. And this is a very interesting topic, and of course, this is very important for us to know more about digital economics and global commerce. Since today, this is the global change, the global movement. We cannot far from this movement. So we have to follow this movement. This is kind of what we call market movement, from the traditional market to digital market, actually. So this is a very important seminars. So we hope from this morning seminar we can get more understanding, about what condition today and what kind of policy, what kind of action do we need to do to anticipate any movement to digital economy in the future. Again, thank you so much for your availability and for your participation in this seminar. On behalf of the rector, so I will formally open this seminar. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Dr. Hafizah Handra, who has formally opened this seminar. Okay, now we proceed to the seminar session. Okay, today we have two speakers actually. Professor Abu Hanifah, the main speaker, and then the second speaker is Dr. Donald Games, and then we also have two, examiner, pembahas. We also have two pembahas, Dr. Desi Kurniasari and then Dr. Ma'ruf, Okay, so we try to manage our time. We give time to each of speaker, Prof. Abu Hanifah and Dr. Donald Games. Each of speaker will take 30 minutes to present their presentation, and then we give time 15 minutes for penanggap, and then we still have time 30 minutes left for Q&A session. Okay, I think before we start our seminar, let me read the CV, curriculum vitae, the short CV for both of our speakers. Associate Professor Abu Hanifah Ayub currently is a lecturer, senior lecturer in University Kebangsaan Malaysia. He graduated from bachelor in 2007 from University Teknologi Petronas Malaysia, and then graduated master degree in Toulouse, Toulouse Business School in France. Sorry for the spelling, and then also graduated PhD in the same university, University Toulouse capital in France. His research area actually related with entrepreneurship, especially international entrepreneurship and business. And then he also attend some visiting scholar, like 2014 become a visiting scholar in Boston University, and then he also published any journal in SSI Index, in Scopus index as well. Yeah. And then for the second speaker, yeah, Dr. Donar Games. Currently, he is senior lecturer in Faculty Economic and Business, FEB, Faculty Economic and Business, Universitas Andalas. He graduated bachelor degree in Faculty Economic and Business in 2004, and then proceed to and graduated master degree in Queensland University in 2009, and graduated doctoral PhD degree in 2015. Yeah, his research area actually also related with entrepreneurship in and SME. And then he also published many articles in ISI and Scopus index. Yeah, I think that this is short CV for both of our speaker for this morning. Yeah, I think without further ado, now let we start our webinar. The first opportunity we give to Prof. Associate Professor Abu Hanifah. So we give time 30 minutes, Prof, to present your presentation. Yeah. Now time is your Prof. Abu Hanifah.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Okay.
Yeah, clear.
Let me just enlarge. And you can also see the slide, right?
Yep. Like moving. Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to apologize for Universitas Andalas for postponing the date. We're supposed to have the webinar on Tuesday, but I sent off my sister and aunt for Hajj on Thursday, so I have to, postpone the day to today. So, thank you very much, Dr. Shafrizal, for generous introduction, as well as Dr. Hafrizal for opening the session today. So, as mentioned by Dr. Shafrizal, my first degree was in IT, in information technology, back in 2007, and then I pursued my postgraduate level in management science in France. So I have interest in both digital or information technology, as well in business and economics. So I try to be brief in this presentation because I thought I had 2 hours to present, but anyhow, 30 minutes is, I think it's still enough for me. So I focus on few things in this presentation. Obviously, we need to first define what is digital economy, and then we need to look into what are some features of digital economy that make it unique and different from regular economy. We look into the input and output of digital economy, and we just could not deny the social impact or the digital spillover from DE or digital economy. And I will wrap up the presentation by look into what are future challenges, as suggested by Dr. Hafrizal just now. So if I may quote from the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development report 2019, so UNC TD mentioned that we currently have no uniform definition of digital economy, because if you can see here, DE is defined quite differently by different bodies. So if we look into the definition by Asian Development Bank, they focus DE, they define DE as a broad range of economic activities that use digitalized information and knowledge. So they focus so much DE in, I suppose, banking and financial sector and institution only. I suppose because they are, bank, right? So of course their interest is in banking sector. Same goes to if you read on the right side, Santander Bank, an American bank, a subsidiary of Spanish group, also define DE quite niche or quite specific in a specific sector or specific use. But if you read the definitions by Malaysia My Digital Blueprint 2021, well, this is definition by the government, right? So you can see how the government defined DE very broadly, where digital economy is defined as economic and social activities that involve the production and use of digital economy by many stakeholders, not only individuals and businesses, but also goes to the government. So from this, well, you can read further on the definition by Deloitte, the UK accounting firm. If we want to summarize all this definition, we can say that in general, we have one similarity of the definition, which is the use of technology, right? Or the use of information technology. But the difference across definition is the application and stakeholders. Again, you have definition that specifically define DE in one specific sector, like of a banking and financial sector. And the stakeholders as well, right? So of course, if we are talking about businesses or firms, corporation, of course, they're only concerned about their, let's say, financial profit, right? But when we talk about digital economy at government level, they're also concerned about, obviously, the citizens, the firms, as well as the government, because government are the one that execute the, plan the policies and execute that for the benefit of the country. Okay. So when did DE comes into picture? When people started to talk about DE. So obviously it's quite recently, right? But if we look into the evolutions of industries, this is just a simple recap. We had industry 1.0 starting from 18th century, 1701 to 1799, where steam power is a greatest breakthrough during that time that replaced a spinning wheel. Okay, and then in 19th century, 1801 to 1899, we had industry 2.0, whereby people started to use electric power in the manufacturing or production. So we have a prominent figure, which is Henry Ford. So the one that initiated Ford car that we had today. So he's the one that translate the idea from the slaughterhouse conveyor belt into automobile. So production become faster and lower cost. And then 1970s, we have industry 3.0, which focus on a partial automation. We started to use robot in production because we want to minimize their human assistance. And only quite recently we talk about industry 4.0, okay, where we want to produce not only more efficiently but in smarter ways. So industry 4.0 focus much on manufacturing. So from industry 4.0 we derive 4IR or IR 4.0, industrial revolution, which one of the aspect in 4IR is digital economy. So digital economy is focusing on the adaptations of digital in all aspect in life. Okay, so we are not just focusing on manufacturing, but the social aspect as well. Okay, so 4.R, we have digital economy and we have some other economic model as well. For example, green economy and circular economy. Now, from that, we are now want to know what makes digital economy different than regular economy, right? So these are main components of digital economy. The first one is the infrastructure itself. E-business infrastructure includes hardware, obviously, software or network, and not to forget human capital. So we need to have experts or professionals that can run the infrastructure. So the infrastructure can be at individual level, meaning that you and I, we as an end user, we as an individual citizen, we need to have laptop, computer, smartphone as well, etc. And at organizational level, we are talking about, for example, universities, right? So they need to equip all lecturers or academics with those software and hardware. They need to run the universities digitally. Okay, so we have digitalized organization, and also at country level, where now many transaction or matters that involve government are now digitalized as well. So if you are fined, you need to pay penalty for parking your car in the wrong spot. So you no need to go to the office to pay the fine, but you can pay the fine digitally. Everything are online now. So the first component in DE is the infrastructure. But the infrastructure itself is not enough. You need to use that infrastructure, right? So you can have a very sophisticated car, you can have Ferrari car or whatever, but if you don't drive the car, then it's meaningless, right? So the second aspect or components in DE is e-business. So e-business is the use of those infrastructure to conduct the business activities. So we are talking about, for example, as a company, they manage their operation digitally. They have internal communication through online. They have system that allow feedback instructions by the superior and receive feedback from the employees. For example, they have they can conduct training online. They can do online recruitment as well. Okay, so you need to first have infrastructure. Second, you need to use that infrastructure. And the third one, e-commerce, is you need to produce value from that digital. So if you use the car, but you don't, it's just a waste of usage, right? If you just drive the car to nowhere. But if you drive your car to go to the office, earn money from your salary, so that is e-commerce. So you need to derive or collect value from the digitalization. So e-commerce, the third component in DE is a value or any price transaction. So for example, we do have online platforms where people sell and buy things. So we can check on what is the transaction value, what is the price transact upon Amazon or eBay, etc. So these are three main components that make up the digital economy. Okay. Well, digital economy have some unique features, rich information, definitely, global presence. Now we feel like sitting next to each other, right? While I'm in Kuala Lumpur and you guys in Medan, Andalas University. So how powerful digital is, because they can connect people so close. So we do have global presence and proximity, right? And the lastly is about security. So we are no longer concerned about people stealing your money from your pocket, because everything are digitalized. So if you discover that your bank card is stolen, you can quickly contact your bank to stop any transaction from your card, right? So hypothetically, we can say that DE also provide more secure financial transaction. Okay, so that move us to look into what are the input of DE. So in order for digital economy to present in each country, they need to have enough infrastructure. So those data, I think, is very common to all of us, right? For example, data on how many digital population across the world. So of course, China and India are at the top because they are most populous countries, right? Because this is numbers of users, internet users, and not percentage. So not only the coverage, but the quality of coverage is important. So not only that we want to have 100% citizens in a country that have connection to the internet, but we want people to have fast connection to the internet. Okay, so obviously those are at the top among developed countries, right? Next, I mentioned earlier that, well, we have the internet. Second, we need to use the internet. And the third one is we want to ensure that we make value or money out of that usage. Okay, so if you can see here that most of the activities online are about sending email and sending text, for example, we need to, digital economy is about hoping those activities can produce money for any parties. Okay, so that's very important. And this is last about the input of digital economy, where the most popular social media, obviously Facebook and in YouTube. TikTok is very popular in Malaysia and I suppose in Indonesia as well. But TikTok is not very famous in the US and in Europe because of the regulation, right? Because they have propaganda and boycott by the government because they consider TikTok as a tool of where the Chinese government spy them, whatever. Okay. So input itself, again, as I mentioned, not enough. We need to derive value from that. Okay, so we can see this is how much each country make money specifically in e-commerce sales. Okay, for example, China, US, Japan, and Germany. So this is actually digital economy, when we manage and successfully produce money out of the usage of information technology. Okay, so this is the growth of e-commerce sales again across country. Now I have defined the need to have all those things that make up digital economy across country, right? So we just want to know what is the current progress in each country. So you can check out this website where it shows each country in the world can be in one of 4 conditions. One is they have, okay, so I may just share quickly 1 or 2 minutes on this. How can I share? How can I share the? Okay. Okay, so this is the mapping in order to see the digital intelligence index. So the standout quadrants here on the top right. So this is countries that have both good current progress in digital as well as good momentum. Okay, so Malaysia is one of them here. So we not only want countries that currently progress well, but we also want that the momentum continues for longer period of time. Okay. On the other hand, the countries on the right low side, so Indonesia is here, it means that the country have rapid evolvement of digitalization in the future, but they have a strong momentum, but currently they are not progressing well. So they have bright future, but at least not at the moment. Okay. At the right side, I think many developed countries are here because they are currently progressed very well. But in the future, we don't see or we don't expect them to grow much because I suppose they are saturated as already. And unfortunately, those are at the left side below, they are worse in both. They don't have good progress in digitalization, and we don't expect them to have bright future. Okay, so this is one way on how to measure the rate of digitalization across countries in the world. Okay, so in order to compare the rate of digitalization across country, we can use data from 4 aspects. One is supply. Again, it focuses on how much the government helped to provide the infrastructure. Second is the demand. So the consumers, the people, citizens of the country need to engage in digitalization. They need to first have the smartphone and use, do online shopping, etc., in order to embrace digitalization. The third one talks about laws, regulations on digitalization by the country or by the government. And the last one is the output from the digitalization. So we are talking about the innovation that we produce from the digitalization. Okay, so that is a comparison about rate of digitalization. But how about the value of digitalization that we can compare from one country to another? So it's very unfortunate, if I can say here, there's no one single data that can compare the value of DE across countries as far as what I have researched this far, because of these challenges. One is because we have a lack of universally accepted definition, again, because digital economy can be narrowly defined as only economic value produced in ICT sector. So we are talking about how much export of ICT products, the computer, all the hardware, how much is the employment in ICT sector. So how many computer science produced by the country, what is the value added in ICT sector. So that is the narrow definition of digital economy. So they only focus on digital economy. But we know that digital economy is not, it's not industry 4.0 that only focus on manufacturing, because the effects of digital economy goes beyond ICT sector, right? It affects agriculture sector, it affects education sector, it affects employment or the labor market in the country, right? So we need to also capture the value from the digitalization, not only in ICT sector, but in all other sectors. So again, the estimation can be very, very difficult to make, but at least this is the data from, again, United Nations, where when they try to estimate the value of digital economy, they try to split into the narrow definition or the broad definition of digital economy. So lack of definition, lack of comparable data, because each country may define digital economy differently. And the third challenge is the intangible nature of digital economy or digital data. So sometimes Google, for example, they have provided many services free of charge. Google Maps, Google Drive, and so many other services. But it doesn't mean that they don't produce any value from that offering, right? Of course, there are values offered, or Google derive value indirectly, when they offer you free platform for online, they offer you free usage of Google Maps, but they collect data from that and they can sell a personalized advertisement. So they get money from that personalized advertisement and not the Google Maps directly, right? So that intangible nature of digital data or digital economy makes it quite difficult to measure the value, the real value of digital economy. Okay. And I may skip this part, but this is just to show you the spillover effect of digital economy, which is not only on ICT sector, but well, obviously this one is the labor market, right? So new specialization that we need in the future. Okay, I think we're very familiar with this, right? The findings from World Economic Forum on the new jobs and the declining jobs in the future, and the effect is very similar if we just want to compare between Indonesia and Malaysia, for example. This is another important social impact, especially on employment, whereby there are more and more gig economy. So people are no longer interested to be an employee for one company because they can now jump from one company to company, or let's say they have an expertise in website design, so they can be a freelance, right? So we have many gig economy platforms here like Fiverr, Upwork, and Freelancer, for example. I think Envato is no longer available. So if you have one specific specialty, so you can just advertise your knowledge or your expertise, and then some people may interested to hire you. Okay, so this is the new trend in employment caused by digital economy. Okay, so lastly, it's about the effect of digital economy on education sector as well. You know, there are more and more interest in online learning, obviously because of the COVID and pandemic, but not necessarily that, because even in my faculty, we are now offering bachelor in business administration through ODL mode, or online mode, where people don't need to come physically to the campus. They can learn everything online and maybe meet one or twice per semester. Okay, so it definitely reshaped the education system. Well, I may skip this one. This is just a Malaysian experience on digital economy. So we do have Digital Economy Blueprint 2021. Again, the emphasis by the government is the effect of digital economy, not only in manufacturing, but also in other sectors like agriculture, construction, and services. Okay, and government aims more from digital economy, not only in terms of GDP, but job creation. We're talking about improvement in education level by the government, improvement of efficiency in government delivering services to people. Okay, so to wrap up my session today, these are our expected challenges ahead. One is that government need to be more transparent. So we need to have definitely more data privacy, because this is one of the main barrier why people refuse to embrace digitalization, because they're afraid of their data being breached. Someone will take over their data, etc. But government, like countries like China, Russia, Iran, they don't preserve data autonomy. So they have data protection, whereby they inhibit people to get access to knowledge and information. So no access to Google in China, no access to Twitter in Iran, for example. Okay. Next is innovation inclusiveness. So on the one hand, we want the whole country to move forward, but government should not neglect the underprivileged communities. People in rural area, for example, disabled people, blind people, deaf people. How can government assist them to also embrace or enjoy the digitalization? And last but not least is mobile internet is necessary, obviously, but not sufficient, meaning that providing infrastructure is important, but what's more important now is the quality of the connection. We need to have faster connection to the internet, not only a wide coverage, but the quality of connection, so that when we listen to lecture like today, we can hear it clearly, no hiccup in between. So for that, I think that shall conclude my presentation this morning. Thank you very much, Dr. Shafrizal.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Abu Hanifah. Very interesting presentation. Yeah, I think later, yeah, there are many questions. Yeah. Okay, before go to the Q&A, we still have one presenter and two pembahas. Okay, now we go to the second presenter. Pak Donar will discuss digital economy from different angle, yeah, especially from SME or entrepreneur angle, yeah. Of course, this is a very interesting topic, yeah. Now we invite, yeah, the second speaker, yeah, to present, yeah, his material. Now, time is yours, Pak Dr. Donar Games.
Thank you, Dr. Shafrizal. And again, thank you for the great presentation, Dr. Abu Hanifah. You have emphasized the importance of digital economy in the current era. And I want to continue that perspective from the context of local context, such as Minangkabau entrepreneurship. And I know that Dr. Abu Hanifah has also some research in terms of entrepreneurship, including SME internationalization. So as I mentioned previously, I will focus on small business digital innovation, and this can come from the context of Minangkabau entrepreneurs. Minangkabau, as you may know, is one of the sources of entrepreneurs in Indonesia. Universitas Andalas, of course, located in the land of Minangkabau in West Sumatra. And in order to prove that Minangkabau has entrepreneurial culture, I introduced one of the wisdom from the Minangkabau culture. Bayak kito pay baladang, kasawah baludok luluak, bayak kito pandai badagang, di rumah maragu indua. So, culturally, Minangkabau people are encouraged to go to merantau outside West Sumatra, which is very interesting. Not because they have to, but because they are expected to do so. And so the important questions emerge is how can these entrepreneurs, high growth business entrepreneurs or small business entrepreneurs, small and medium enterprises in Minangkabau or from Minangkabau can benefit from digital innovation, from digital technology? Can they can digital technology, for example, accelerate SME, Minangkabau SME internationalization, which is very, very difficult question. But again, we want to know whether they can benefit from digital technology. And as mentioned earlier by Dr. Abu Hanifah, we have been dealing with rapid changes in the society 5.0, for example, all about innovation, right? All about innovation. Individual persons are expected to have like to implement innovation. In the past, those who have possess information are leaders, but no, informations are not enough, right? Informations are not enough. For example, in the past, Minangkabau entrepreneurs are the leaders in Tanah Abang. Tanah Abang is one of the biggest marketplaces in Indonesia, in Jakarta. But nowadays, it is very hard for us to say that Minangkabau are the leaders in Tanah Abang. In the past, Minangkabau possess the information. They know the markets very well. They know the suppliers, but it is not that important at the moment. In the current situation, what we need is innovation, including digital innovation. So, but in reality, we can safely say that Minangkabau are traders. Minangkabau are traders. But what we expect from society 5.0 are Minangkabau as entrepreneurs. So the question is, what has distinguished traders from entrepreneurs? As you know that there are some behaviors that represent entrepreneurship. For example, entrepreneurship requires risk-taking behavior, innovative behavior, opportunity-seeking behavior, and related to digital technology, as we know, digital technology is there is no guarantee that SME, small and medium enterprise, can benefit from digital technology, and there is no guarantee that digital innovation can benefit SME. There is no guarantee, because on the one hand, innovation is costly. On the other hand, there is no guarantee that this innovation can benefit SMEs as a whole. As a result, small business are expected to, like, in limbo. They have like this dilemma whether they want to implement effectively digital innovation or they just wait and see. In this occasion, I also want to let you know about the context of Indonesia. We have 270 million people, which is a lot, right? And 75 million people aged 8 to 23 years old, and 70 million people are millennials. Interestingly, 64 millions, there are 64 millions micro and SMEs in Indonesia. Wow, that's a lot, right? That's a lot. Again, the question is, can 64 million micro and SMEs benefit from digital innovation? Because of what? There is a lack of knowledge workers in higher education, especially in terms of science and engineering, and it makes harder for Indonesian SMEs, including Minangkabau SMEs, to compete with others, including in terms of digital innovation. The curious case of technology-based startups in West Sumatra. So I have been a mentor for startups and entrepreneurs in West Sumatra, especially since 2016, and I have realized that there are some points to consider. For example, digital ecosystem issue. At the beginning, startups experience like euphoria. They want to use digital technology. Most of them want to become digital startup, but as time passes, there are some problems because again, digital technology is not cheap. It is very costly, and there is another important issue. Generational differences in Minangkabau entrepreneurship, from business wisdom to pragmatism. In the past, Minangkabau has Minangkabau wisdom that encourage innovation, business wisdom, and patience in business, incrementalism in business. But current generations like Gen Z and millennials emphasize the importance of like a short-term perspective. So there are two different perspectives in this case, short-term perspective and long-term perspective, which are totally different. And that is why like there is a gap between the previous generation and the current generation in Minangkabau entrepreneurship, and this is also a problem. Another important problem in terms of how to benefit from digital innovation in the case of West Sumatra entrepreneurs is that there is a lack of strategies. From my research about startups in fashion industry in West Sumatra, it was found that there is a lack of strategies. As I mentioned previously, entrepreneurs come from particular behavior such as risk-taking behavior, innovative behavior, and opportunity-seeking behavior. But in reality, perhaps also because of the pandemic crisis, it is hard to find entrepreneurs who are willing to take some risks. So they prefer wait and see, like and migration to online platform, like wait and see, what next to do, just simply wait and see. And yeah, of course, we keep in mind that they also have some problems in terms of resources and structures, as you can see in the slides. So what could be done to benefit from digital innovation from the context of Minangkabau entrepreneurs, as well as in the context of Indonesia? The first one, I think, the most important one is innovative marketing campaign. As mentioned previously by Dr. Abu Hanifah, Indonesia is like one step behind, for example, compared to in Malaysia in terms of how to use digital technology. But we can compensate that with innovative marketing campaign. Indonesia, as you may know, Indonesian people are creative in this regard, as you can see in this slide. And strategically, Minangkabau SMEs, more specifically high growth businesses from the Minangkabau SMEs, can prepare for digital technology, digital era, or society 5.0 in a broader sense, if they can prepare some of these strategies, such as IT readiness, innovation balance, partnership readiness, and resource readiness. So, in other words, Minangkabau SMEs should be able to establish business partnership in order to benefit from digital technology. They cannot do this by themselves because they have like a lack of resources, they have lack of structures. But if they can build a business partnership, for example, with the larger companies, they can offer something new, such as knowledge about local markets, for examples, and based on that, they can establish a business partnership. They can also like offer cultural readiness. I mean, as I mentioned previously, there is a huge gap between current generation and the previous generation. The current one is like they want to like implement short-term perspective. They want to have like quick wins, something like that. The previous generations are more patient, but they don't know much about the technology. They know about the market. They know about the wisdoms. They know about the timing, for example, but they don't know about technology. The younger generation know about technology, but they have a lack of wisdom. They don't know about local context, the local market, the local cultures, and combining these two can benefit SMEs, and digital innovation can accelerate high growth businesses in this regard. And what else? It is also important to like benefit from business incubator. For example, in Universitas Andalas, we also have business incubator to accelerate commercializations, and I think it is very important for Minangkabau SMEs to be able to benefit from business incubator. So in the past, they are traders. No, they are required to not only being traders but also being entrepreneurs, and in order to do so, they should be able to benefit from business incubator. How to like prepare strategies, business strategies, how to like improve knowledge, like financial literacy, product innovation, and so on. And innovation cluster, which is also very important. For example, in Padang, in West Sumatra, we have like rendang cluster for rendang, Minangkabau cuisine. Also in Malaya, also one of the best cuisines in the world. But we don't have like an innovation cluster for rendang in the past. We still are not able to benefit from our resources, our rendang, and market expansions, and including SME internationalizations. It seems it is very hard for Minangkabau SMEs to enter internationalization pace, not only because they are getting used to like being traders, like being entrepreneurs means that you need to prepare more, right? Like resources, more technologies, more knowledge about market. But and it is much easier to be traders in this case. And and also another important aspect in digital technology is integrated marketing communication. Again, marketing is one of the essence of entrepreneurship. How to make sure that customers can understand the benefit of the products. So again, it is very important for Minangkabau SMEs to implement local wisdom. Minangkabau has some wisdoms, but it is very important for the current generations to like establish partnership with the previous one, so they can acquire tacit knowledge from the previous generations, and the previous generation can understand more about the importance of digital innovation. Strategic thinker and strategic doer. It is also important for Minangkabau SMEs from traders who are implementing short-term perspective to entrepreneurs who are implementing long-term strategies based on strategic thinking. And in a broader sense, if combining all of these can lead to SME internationalizations. So this is my message from I got it somewhere from the internet, and this is a message from young entrepreneurs or those who are trying to benefit from the digital innovation. As I mentioned previously, digital innovation is very costly, perhaps for many SMEs, especially in the context of Minangkabau SMEs, but 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the tide, winds in yourselves, explore dreams, discover. So make dreams come true from digital technology, especially digital innovation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Donar James. Yeah, very interesting presentation. Yeah, Pak Donar already revealed the opportunity and challenge by Minang entrepreneur, yeah, from digital technology or from digital economy, and then Pak Donar also closed his presentation with the recipe, how entrepreneur, especially Minang entrepreneur, can get benefit, can get advantage from digital technology. Okay, now we go to the response from the two our lecturer, yeah, tanggapan, yeah. Now the first response we ask from Pak Dr. Ma'ruf. Now time is your, Pak Dr. Ma'ruf.
Thank you, Dr. Safriza, or we usually call Pak Dr. Safriza with Pak Ajo, yeah. And Professor Abu Hanifah and Dr. Donar, thank you for giving us very interesting insight today. And then actually this is quite challenging for me, because I'm not in this area directly, I mean, but of course, as people who live in this era, we cannot avoid this digitalization in economic and business. Actually, my interest, area of my interest is in sustainability, sustainable business. However, still we have many connection with digitalization. Yeah. For example, in Sustainable Development Goal, one of the concern is about equality and access, to digitalization. For those who live in big city, maybe for most of us who attend this webinar, maybe we don't have any problem with access to the internet, to digitalization. But if we look at the big picture, and we can find there still exists in the world or in our country, Malaysia, probably in Malaysia and Indonesia, a lack of access. Yeah. good digitalization. But I only have 2 slides. I don't think I have to share it. I will just explain it briefly because I have to share time with Dr. Desi. First, I would like to address Dr. Abu Hanifah presentation. I'm interested in the challenge facing by the business in the digitalization, yeah, especially about inclusiveness, yeah, inclusiveness and sustainability of the business. As far as I know, then maybe we also read many articles about digitalization. In digitalization, business need transformation from non-digital to the digital business. Yeah, and this one become one of the challenges for small business, especially because based on my observation, when a business start to adopt digitalization, they need to do transformation. And transformation in business is a big decision. Yeah, whether to involve or adopt digital business or not. And another challenge for business, I think both small or big business, is how to protect their idea, yeah, because I think in transformation they have to find ideas and implement some innovation. But unluckily, as you address in your presentation, one of the key for digital transformation and digital business is laws, supporting from laws and rules in the area in the market to protect the idea and innovation. But I think this is the case for Indonesia, that intellectual property laws not well enforced. Yeah, and at the same time, many happen in the transformation is me too, or follower. Yeah, and when one business start to innovate in the digitalization and applying their idea, not long after that, many business will follow and imitate this innovation, and this make some negative, or discourage business to innovate in digitalization. And as we know, in the digital era, it's very easy to find and imitate. To find the example of how other people are doing the business. But then I think this condition will create unsustainable business. They cannot survive for a long time, and also create or discourage the innovation to involve in digitalization. And especially for small business, my concern is about the continuous innovation, because for small business innovation, as you mentioned, also Dr. Donna also mentioned, it takes a lot of fund or money to do innovation. It means new investment. And finding fund for small business, it's quite a problem. Example, not all small business has access to financial sources. So that's my concerns about maybe to elaborate, the challenge that you mentioned about rules that support the digitalization transformation, including the support from government, like incentive for business who transform into digital business. Yeah, and so my concern is more on the challenge in digital transformation. Yeah, and some concern for potential problem that will be occur during the transformation. Of course, this is the homework for all of us. For academic, maybe how can we help the business to protect their idea, especially when the business operating in law enforcement not really good. Maybe you can share your experience in Malaysia, how to encourage business to transform into digital business, and support from government, especially the protection of intellectual property rights or ideas. And I think that's my response to insight from Professor Abu Hanifah. And from Dr. Donald, I have some agreements with your statement about adopting digitalization is costly. And again, my concern is about sustainability and equality and SDGs thing. And SDGs one also, the key is about promoting equality and access for, especially you mentioned about small business to the technology. And then based on the data from World Bank in 2022, for Indonesia, they mentioned that 49% of adults don't have access to internet. And the highest reason for that is because internet for them still expensive. 55% mentioned that internet is expensive. And other reason is device only for calling and SMS. And interesting finding is some adults in Indonesia still think that touch screen is not comfortable. Maybe because of lack of ability to adjust with new technology, or maybe it's a bit bothering to use touchscreen. Maybe their finger size is quite big, and there's while their device is quite small. Maybe make them uncomfortable. And I think this will be our concern. In addition to your concern about Minangkabau, who tend to be trader, not a entrepreneur. And but again, my concern, of course, related to my interest. Maybe we can discuss further. It's about equal access. How can we promote equal access to technology? And the problem you mentioned several times in your presentation is about cost of adopting digital business. How can we expect benefit from the digital business while there is lack of access or inequality in access to internet or digital business? While maybe this is just it's kind of snapshot that this week or last week we heard and we saw news about corruption in development of 4G technology in Indonesia. So that's like two step backward in digitalization. How can we improve digitalization while in building the infrastructure we still have problem with corruption? In the development of 4G technology, not to mention the expensive of access to internet. So I think again I agree with Dr. Rana in terms of expensive. Then the other issue is about equality to get access to internet, because I'm sure that I'm afraid that this group of small business or group of business will be marginalized. I mean, not the one who get benefit, and then that's the one who get this disadvantage from the development of technology. And we have to beware, that in Indonesia now still become the consumer of digital business, not that yet strong player, in digital business. I think that's all, Pak Safrizal. Small response from me about the digital business in Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Dr. Ma'ruf. Yeah, very interesting response. Yeah, compliment previous presentation. I think if there is some explanation from Prof. Abu Hanifah or Dr. Donald Gams based on the comment from Pak Ma'ruf, before we proceed to Dr. Desi, please, Prof. Abu Hanifah or Pak Donald.
So if I may quickly respond to Dr. Ma'ruf. So one is how to encourage digitalization. I think obviously by embed into education system. So I think when we revise the curriculum for for degree level especially, we will definitely embed new courses such as digital business, digital economy, and data analysis, etc. That's one way. But for the government, I am directly involved to help government to give or to identify underprivileged people to receive loan from the government. Before they get the loan, before their loan application is approved by the government, it is compulsory for them to undergo one or few trainings on digital marketing. So they are compulsory to follow that courses, then only they can get the loan. So I think that's one of few initiatives by the government to help improve or encourage digitalization among entrepreneurs. And the second question or issues related to how would government in Malaysia encourage protections of intellectual property. I think it's more on the publicity or campaign by the government. So we do have My IPO, My Intellectual Property Organization. So this is the place where people, especially entrepreneurs, file for patent protection, copyright, etc. So no other initiative that I'm aware beside the campaign by the government to encourage and to educate people what would be the downside if you don't protect your patent or your intellectual property. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Still mute,
Yeah.
Pak Arjo.
yeah, this is very
Thank you,
interesting, right?
thank you,
Because-
thank you, Pak. Yeah, Prof. Abu Hanifah. Now proceed to Pak
Yeah.
Donald.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Safrizal. Dr. Maruf, I think you may know that the most noticeable difference between us, the Minangkabau, Indonesia, and compared to ASEAN member economies such as Malaysia, Singapore, or Thailand, is knowledge workers. Knowledge workers. Knowledge workers means that if you have knowledge workers, it is more likely for you, for SMEs, SME owners, to benefit from digital technology. In other words, you can benefit from digital innovation. Why? Because those people, knowledge workers, can produce business strategies, can produce they can have broader perspectives, and they can understand how to maximize profits from the use of technology, digital technology. But the problem is we don't have that knowledge workers, especially at today. So our task is, our homework, as you may say, is how to prepare these knowledge workers. In the US or in the Western countries, in the West, they have knowledge workers, so it is easier for them to because they have talented workers. It is easier for them to benefit from digital business, digital startups. We know that, as mentioned previously by Dr. Abu Hanifah, most of the companies that benefit from digital innovation come from Westerners. So our task is to make sure that we have knowledge workers, so we can have strategies. So what we can do at the moment is to make sure that we can have strategies. We can have strategic thinkers who can use digital technology as a tool, not necessarily as the most important one. This is a tool, and use this tool to help innovative marketing campaign, approach particular target market, for example. So because we know the market, we know ASEAN, we know Malaysian people, we know Singaporean, we know especially we know about the markets, but how to approach them. And so we can use digital technology as a way to approach the markets better compared to before. But actually, as I also I keep repeating myself that it is not easy. It is not easy. It is not an easy task to benefit from digital technology, as we have a lack of knowledge workers. So what we can do is to make sure that we can use this as a tool, and we can produce business strategies that can effectively increase the effectiveness of digital technology. So thank you very much for the comment, Dr. Maruf.
Okay, thank you very much from the response, from Pak Maruf, and the answer from Prof. Abu Hanifah and from Dr. Donors. Now we proceed to the second response from Ibu Dr. Desi Kurniasari. Please, Bu Desi.
Okay, thank you, Pak Dr. Safrizal. This is very interesting presentation from both presenter, from Professor Abu Hanifah and Dr. Donar Games. So I will begin maybe my bit of my feedback related to what we heard just now from Professor Abu Hanifah. So one of my interesting slide from yours is like you mentioned about Indonesia here. It's Indonesia is one of the largest e-commerce, largest of e-commerce sales. So this is the top 10, number 9, right? And it's like 59 billion. This is quite a lot, right? But I want to know your concern related to this. Like you have mentioned earlier about the role of government related to make the SMEs ready to be in this situation right now. Maybe you can also share like how about our role as university, because now we have this occasion to be ready to be international level, right? So we have to make our student, our entrepreneur wannabe to be ready with all this kind of situation. So do you think in Malaysia you are quite happy with the situation that you got right now related to the effort people ready to make people ready, the student ready to jump to the real situation later on after they finish the study, right? To be the real entrepreneur that need by the market, especially in this digital era. So what do you think about the role of university here? Because as you might know that actually there's maybe sometimes there's a yawning gap between the lecturer and the student. Like I have to admit that sometimes my student is much better than me in terms of technology, in terms of digital things, right? So it's quite hard to make to make sure that our subject, whatever we teach them, is quite useful for them, since sometimes it seems that they'll know more than us, right? So maybe you have some of suggestion, like what your university do, for example. So it can be the best line for us as well. And another thing that's I think I agree with you with there's like a shift in demand about specialist skill that people are interested in, and this is based on the the survey as well. Even like children's song right now, in Indonesia, they say they don't want to be a doctor, they want to be YouTuber. They don't want to be a doctor, they don't want to be an engineer, something like that, but they want to be YouTuber because they say maybe they got more money to be YouTuber, right? So so we have to aware about this situation, and this is very interesting topic and very important, I guess. So do you have any further story related to this, like in Malaysia, like to make your university ready and then find useful subject or find useful teaching method for them to make them really really still want to go to the university, not by just studying by themselves, for example, because sometimes maybe they think that it is not useful to go to the universities if the whatever they got from the uni is not useful for them in the real life later on, right? So this is like a biggest concern for us maybe in university and for whoever proceed their study in the university level in the future, right? So this is like my biggest concern, and I want your feedback related to this as well. And then about the Facebook, Instagram, and the Instagram that you mentioned earlier, in Indonesia, maybe I will start a bit like maybe we play more in Facebook when we are like mature people, right? Like maybe 40 plus will be play more with Facebook, while for Instagram and TikTok it will be for younger generation. So this like two different things, right? And maybe the content will be different as well, right? So I don't know like how the Malaysian people cope with this thing, and then in terms of the business strategy, whether it is will be matter as well. And then about people with disability, you mentioned this, and this is my biggest concern as well, since I have one website about marketing product for people with disabilities. So actually they have some sort of limitation. We call this karajoelok.com. Maybe you have time to have a look this website. So we have a website to help people with disability to market the product. So actually digital era now is very good in terms of eliminate the limitation to go directly to the people, right? So it helps us to approach the people not directly but maybe through digital things, right? But now what do you think? Is there anything that Malaysian people do, especially the government and the university, related to the the interest of help people with disability as well, related to this? Because as a lecturer, as a student, we have to also concern about this issue as well, I guess. Okay, maybe that's from me for Professor Abu Hanifah. And then so I go straight to Dr. Donald Games, Pak Safrizal, yeah, go straight, yeah?
Yeah, go,
okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So even though I'm very close with with Dr. Donald Games, but I haven't talked about this yet. So I'll ask question right now. So I keep the secret right now, not telling him anything before. Okay, so this is so he doesn't know this feedback yet. Okay, to be fair. So you open it the like everything with Minangkabau, and we as Minangkabau people aware that actually there's some sort of value, there's some sort of mindset of the Minangkabau people. Like they get used to short-term perspective, for example. Even they love to be like in kaki lima, like one step forward the other store, like other people's store, right? They have like they make some they choose something that make their life easier. And do you think this this digital thing will be the method that they will be preferred to use, since this is like make them will have like extra effort, and extra course as well to implement this technological thing in this in their company, for example, especially for SMEs, because they have to consider about you mentioned about cost many times. And then as far as I know, that Minangkabau people love to have less cost as least cost as possible, and they want to get more but don't want to pay more, something like that. But on the other hand, for technological issues, you have to pay more, right? And there's no guarantee that you get more, right? Once you have target the wrong people, then you are finished, right? You will go to the debt valley that you mentioned earlier. And this is something that the entrepreneur need to escape and need to prevent, right? But then if you choose to be like in technological based startup, then you have to face this issue, and you have to like the entrepreneurs like that have jumped to this decision need to be ready for that. So what do you think, how to prepare about this thing, and is there anything to do with the government or the university as well? So I want more, more explanation related to this from our both of our two great presenter. So maybe that's all from me. Thank you, Pak Dr. Safrizal.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Desi. Now we give time to Prof. Abu Hanifah and Pak Donald to answer maybe want to answer some response from Bu Desi. Please, Prof. Abu Hanifah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Desi. I think this is not very new, the issue about how relevant university is, especially to nurture entrepreneurship, because, people always take Mark Zuckerberg as an example, or Bill Gates, where they drop out from the university, they did not finish their study, but yet they become one of the, world's billionaire. But anyhow, how to make university more relevant in the context of Malaysia is, we can do the best we possibly could. So we try to have more active engagement with industry, for example. So we actively invite entrepreneurs comes and give their experience, but we are very careful of choosing who should we call upon. So we only call entrepreneurs with graduate certificate. So they must pass or have at least a bachelor degree or S1 in order to tell or give a correct signal to students that, well, you can, or you want to become entrepreneurs later on, but finish your study first, because we can say that although it's not necessarily true for all cases, we can say in general that those entrepreneurs with degree, they are more likely to be more successful, because earning a degree is not all about the content of what you learn in the university, but it's all about your experience, your discipline during your study, your networking, for example, so those something that you cannot get if you don't, you don't undergo your degree study in university. But I have to admit, the Malaysia is experiencing the same, because the news this morning mentioned that half of secondary school students, students that just passed their national examination at age of 17 and 18, half of them, or 50% of them, decide not to pursue the S1, S1 degree study, because, the influence of external environment whereby they can become famous on TikTok and etc. They can be still successful in life without degree. So how to play a role as a university? Again, active engagement with industry. And second one is the outcome for those who want to have bachelor in entrepreneurship from our faculty. Once they graduated, they need to register their business. So that's one of the requirements for them to get a degree. So we need to ensure, or we want to ensure, all students from our program have their business upon graduation. Well, I have to admit also, regarding the disabled people as an entrepreneur, still a lot of things to do. Government, maybe the best the government can do is to provide or allocate special quota for assistance. So if you are a disabled person or individuals, you can get a special quota to receive loan or financial assistance by the government. But at the end of the day, I suppose it's all your hard work. You need to compete with normal, people like us. So I don't see much progress on how Malaysia help disabled people to become successful entrepreneurs. But I think we are moving towards that. We're helping more and more, but still, I have to admit there are more things to do in the future. Thank you, Dr. Desi.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay, now go to Dr. Donald James.
Thank you, Dr. Safrizal, and thank you for Dr. Desi. As you know, that Minangkabau is a collectivist culture. Minangkabau is a collectivist culture that emphasizes the importance of tradition, benevolence, value types, and strong cultural adaptability is also important. So, Dr. Abu Hanifah, you might know that in Indonesia there is Kampung Jawa, Kampung Cina, Kampung Melayu bahkan, but we don't have Kampung Minangkabau in Indonesia because strong adaptation culture in Minangkabau is very important. So there's no Kampung Minang, something like that. But in other words, we can also say that it is very important for Minangkabau entrepreneurs to have social interaction, harmonious society, and so on. So social capital, in other words, social capital. So, but on the other hand, we have some points to consider, as I mentioned previously. Minangkabau entrepreneurs experience changes from being traders in the past, which is not enough for today, for being entrepreneurs. And one of the ways to be entrepreneurs is to benefit from digital technology, right? So in order to do so, for example, Minangkabau traders need to benefit from social capital, online social capital, how to use digital technology, for example, Facebook, social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, to increase social interaction, which in turn enhance social capital. This is very important. In the past, they can rely on in-group, for example, but for now, it is not enough. So, Dr. Abu Hanifah, I have one particular interesting study, and Dr. Desi also part of this study. Minangkabau entrepreneurs, Minangkabau small business owners are able to benefit from bridging social capital. This means that they can interact, they can have social interaction with other people, even if they don't know that people. Interestingly, they cannot benefit from bonding social capital. In other words, they cannot benefit from those who are around them. For example, families, extended families, and so on. And this is very interesting. I mean, this also means that Minangkabau are open to change, open to new people, but at the same time they cannot benefit from their in-group. This is very interesting. So, Dr. Desi, one of my point for today is the most important one is the transitional era from traders to to entrepreneurs, and this is signified by the ability of the Minangkabau people, Minangkabau business owners, to benefit from digital technology. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Dr. Donald. If I don't understand anything, I will ask you at the back. Okay. Okay, thank you, Pak Dr. Safrizal.
Okay, thank you very much ya, Bu Desi, Pak Maruf already given the feedback ya. Okay, now we go to the Q&A session ya, for all of the participants ya. Yeah, of course, this is very interesting presentation, very interesting topic for today's. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, so many questions come from the participant. Yeah. Now we try to collect 3 questions for the first session. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. For those who want to ask question, can raise hand in the Zoom. Yeah, I will choose later. Yeah, okay. Please ask the question. Yeah, very interesting topic actually. Yeah, how country, how business can take advantage from digital technology or digital economy, and how entrepreneur take advantage, and then also there are many challenges actually, not in one side, there are a big opportunity actually from digital technology or digital economy, but not easy, to grab this opportunity. It is not easy job actually. Okay, I think please ask the question, the audience,
I also want to add something, Dr. Safrizal.
Okay, please, Pak Donald.
Yeah, because I just remember this. Dr. Ma'ruf and Dr. Desi have also mentioned about this. What about the equality and like local pride, something like that? I mean, I'm also part of the kerajoelok.com, which is initiated by Dr. Desi, and kerajoelok.com promotes products from people with disability. But interestingly, it is not like markets does not really accept this products, not necessarily because this product is not good, but I don't know, maybe there are some there are another issue, but it is interesting, like in our societies that that respect people with disability or local products. We also initiate a website to promote local products, Dr. Abu Hanifah, but not really well. I mean, the market seems not really seems this as a good approach. My point is, our challenge is not also about knowledge workers. Our challenge is not also about the entrepreneurs. Our challenge is also about the way society perceive technology. They want easy, right? Ease of use. They want easy, cheaper products, ease of use. Whether it comes from local product, whether it comes from people with disability, it really doesn't matter, something like that. But so this is my 2 cents in this regard.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Donald. Okay, how about audience? Yeah, any question? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Maybe while waiting, the question from audience, I also interesting with the presentation from Abu Hanifah previously, especially regarding the digital intelligence index, in the quadrant previously, Malaysia located in standout, instead of position, It means currently Malaysia and other country that located in this standout can take advantage, from the digital economy, and also have big opportunity and for the future, But like Indonesia, for example, cannot take optimal advantage currently, but still have big opportunity, but still have opportunity to have high growth in the future, Maybe can Prof. Abu Hanifah share some reason, maybe some reality, what make Malaysia can take in stand out position, and then maybe also we want to get some opinion why some country like Malaysia cannot optimally take advantage currently from this digital economy. Maybe there is some recipe from Malaysia. We want to hear from opinion Prof. Abu Hanifah.
Well, definitely there's no secret for that. I think if we look into the data, again, the data is derived from 4 factors: supply, demand, institution, and innovation, right? So we don't have strong demand, not as big as Indonesian as a single market, because Indonesia, you have 200 over millions population as compared to us 30. But I think we scored well in terms of the institutions, because government is trying very, very hard to push all businesses into digitalization. For example, we take advantage when during COVID-19, all businesses, you are entitled to receive assistance or financial assistance from the government. But before you can receive that assistance, it is compulsory for you, or the businesses, to digitally register yourself. So you need to have digital identification. So it's no longer that you can run and operate your business undercover simply because you don't want to pay tax, for example. So you never declare to government, you don't have your website, you never have your Facebook account or whatever. So what government does, or at least during COVID-19, is that they want to ensure all businesses to have digital footprint, meaning that when you mention about your company name, we can easily trace your company online. So you do have your own website, or at least Facebook page or Instagram page, so that people know that this is a genuine business. And that also increase the rate of digitalization in Malaysia. Well, in Indonesia, I think, I've been in Indonesia a few times. I believe the digitalization in Indonesia is still strong. I think just because, you are fragmented into different or smaller islands, and then it's hard to, to get aggregate data across big cities like Bandung, Jakarta, and those who are in islands, for example, so that makes the rate of digitalization in Indonesia in general is not, as high as in Malaysia. Because don't be surprised, because Indonesia is actually in the same quadrant as China. China is in the same quadrants like Indonesia. So although in general we see China is very advanced in their technology, but when we try to aggregate the data, we try to average things, we have difficulties to capture digitalization in rural areas in China, because there are many small small cities, it's hard to get good data, or it's hard to observe the advancement in digitalization in those remote areas. But I believe, I think when I was in Jakarta last time, I think in some part, the level of digitalization is far ahead than in Malaysia. For example, your it's not Uber, Grab, right? Features in Grab application in Indonesia is much more than what we have in Malaysia, so you can order. No, because in Malaysia, the features in Grab applications are limited into only two things. One is transportation, and that only for car, no motorcycle. And second one is for food delivery. But I think in Indonesia, you have more services also, right? Like laundry, paying bill, was it? But I suppose there are more, services offered in Grab apps. So what I'm trying to say here is that if we see the digitalization rate in big cities in Indonesia, they are comparable to Malaysia and other developed countries. But maybe if you go to more remote areas, maybe you have challenges to get internet connection, or the speed or internet connection speed maybe a little bit slow in some areas in Indonesia. Thank you, Dr. Safrizal.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Hanifah. Okay, now we go to the audience. Please ask the question. We have 4 presenter, 2 speaker, 2 pembahas. You can freely give question to all of them. Maybe Pak Surya, any question, Pak Surya? Pak Surya from the banking, Pak. Of course, how banking take advantage, okay. You can, Pak Surya can share the question. Maybe can share experience as well, Okay, please Pak Surya.
Thank you.
Boleh, Indonesia juga boleh ya. Tidak mesti bahasa Inggris.
Terima kasih Pak Safrizal. Pak,
jangan takut ya.
So far so good Pak. Mungkin yang lain dulu Pak. Saya setelah ini Pak. Izin Pak, maaf Pak.
Mana-mana pertanyaannya silakan ya. Tidak bahasa Minang pun juga boleh, nanti saya coba translate ya. Bahasa Melayu, bahasa Minang similar ya, mirip dengan bahasa Melayu. Silakan Bapak Ibu ya.
Pak, Ibu Associate Profesor Satya Widya juga ini dari kedokteran, Kinet Ibu.
Silakan
siapa
Ibu ya.
Ada PPDS banyak di sini yang punya bisnis klinik juga kan ya, di digitalisasi ya. So digital in digital era, maybe you can take advantage of having a presenter right now for student from faculty economic and also for medical here I can see, and maybe from other audience as well.
Ya, bahasa Indonesia juga boleh ya. Jadi banyak hal yang sebetulnya bisa ditanyakan ya. Bagaimana mendapatkan keuntungan atau bagaimana memanfaatkan teknologi digital ini dalam berbagai hal ya. Tidak hanya untuk bisnis, ya mungkin juga untuk kerja di kantor misalnya.
I agree that banyak ya yang bisa dilakukan seperti Indonesia, Malaysia atau Universitas Andalas and UKM itu bisa like doing some projects such as e-incubation. E-incubation, I think that's one of the most interesting one. Beberapa tahun yang lalu saya ke KL, itu ada pemikiran seperti ini. We can do like e-incubation. Jadi bahkan produk dari Sumatera Barat itu bisa dipasarkan di Malaysia, begitu juga sebaliknya, dan juga bisa semacam jadi hub untuk pemasaran produk ke international market. Jadi I think it is very important for Indonesia and Malaysia to like establish business partnership, like P2P, like business to business, atau university to university, and related to business to business ya. Jadi like triple helix model, in reality kita bisa sebenarnya bisa gitu ya, Pak Dr. Abu Hanifah. What do you think?
Ya, itu kelebihan digitalization whereby kalau kita ada new business opportunities ataupun kita nak venture into new things, kita tak perlu buat sendiri kan. Kita boleh cari partner di Indonesia for example, right? But the important thing is the digital footprint again. Kalau distributor ataupun supplier di Indonesia nak capture or tap Malaysian market, they need to be visible on the internet, right? They need to have website, etc. So that will, establish the B2B connection. Kalau B2C, sekarang ni kalau kita ada produk tapi kita tak nak invest on, sometimes the entrepreneurs want just to focus on the product itself, right? They don't want to invest much on marketing, in the sense that they don't want to, they just let someone else to do the marketing on their behalf. So they can just hire, banyak sekarang yang jadi freelancer yang buat marketing, digital marketing, so they can help the entrepreneurs to market the product, ada account TikTok dan sebagainya. Jadi saya kira digital marketing pun costnya semakin murah sebab the availability of many freelancers yang boleh tolong untuk buat digital marketing. Jadi kalau kita ataupun entrepreneurs yang mungkin dah veteran, yang dah lama-lama, mungkin dia tak not good in digital, so do not feel afraid because you can just pay someone else to do the digital advertisement on your behalf. And again, saya kira costnya semakin murah sebab semakin ramai yang dah bisa buat digital marketing.
Right.
Yeah, Dr. Safriza, I just
Pak Maruf.
I just got an idea that from what Dr. Hanifah mentioned just now. Maybe to improve the benefit of digitalization for especially small business, what we need to build is the ecosystem of digital business.
Yes.
Especially in small business, like Dr. Hanifah mentioned about small business doesn't have to build their own infrastructure. Now they can work together with freelancer like digital business consultant, digital marketing consultant, where they only pay for what they need to do for the business. So infrastructure, I think, no longer the obstacle
Constraint,
no longer barrier to to transform into digital business. I think that's also good to study more about the ecosystem. Maybe we can compare in Malaysia and Malaysia, whether they exist or not, the ecosystem.
Yeah, very interesting. But when we talk about ecosystem, maybe if we relate to Minangkabau, I have little bit worry actually. Orang Minangkabau very easy to collaborate, easy to cooperate in terms of social thing, but in terms of business, in terms of business, little bit difficult. Maybe Pak Donar can give. I'm not sure whether my observation wrong or right, but at a glance, this based on my observation, I found this reality in the business practice. What's your opinion, Pak Pak Donald.
It is very true, Dr. Sabda. It is very true that it is hard for Minangkabau entrepreneurs to establish business partnership. They prefer to discuss about social stuff like kampung, bagaimana keadaan kampung, bagaimana keadaan si A, si B gitu ya. But it is hard for them to establish business partnership. Not necessarily because they don't want to, but because they don't want to like break the harmony society in a collectivist culture. As I mentioned previously, Minangkabau is a collectivist culture, so they are afraid of being like those being a part like reduce the collectivist culture. I mean, to break the harmonious society is like a big sin. So that is why, as I mentioned previously, orang Minangkabau itu bisa memanfaatkan bridging social capital. So if they meet with new people from new places, even if they never like face-to-face communication, no face-to-face communication, it is okay as long as it is about business. But they cannot have something like that when they are meeting with like inner group ya, seperti dengan family, dengan teman-teman. Jadi karena dia tidak mau kehilangan teman atau keluarga, seringkali dia lebih baik tidak memulai bisnis. The business cycle tidak dimulai. Nah, itu yang terjadi.
It will be good to have connection with the other country then, right? Like Malaysia,
exactly.
And not exactly. 3 years ago, and then we will have a good connection and then build a new business, something like that. Since it's hard to make business with people around us, right?
Yeah, exactly. That is why family business, almost all businesses in Minangkabau are family business. But again, why they don't want to like enter international markets, or why don't they want to like sometimes they don't want to like have like second brands, third brands, because they to build partnership, it is not easy for the Minangkabau, especially with their inner groups. So perhaps family business internationalization, small business internationalization, or like migrant entrepreneurship, perhaps some research topic that we can work together, like Dr. Abu Hanifah.
Yeah, very interesting topic. Continue from Pak Donald question previously about collaboration, the role of government, triple helix, But I remember with Fama, Pak Donald, maybe Prof. Abu Hanifah familiar, with Fama, Now, if we try to see from the digital economy, to what extent, the role of Fama, to encourage, SME, to take advantage, from digital economy or from digital technology.
Ini Fama yang perledangan tu kah, Pak?
Fama, Federal Agriculture Marketing Association.
I have to admit yang Fama ni kan milik kerajaan, jadi dia not really corporate oriented or profit oriented, so the aim is that the Fama business continue as it is because they have a strong government backup. Okay, jadi kalau di Fama tu saya lihat rate of digitalization tu masih kurang. Sebab again I think it's not unique to Fama, but many government agencies again, because they're not based on corporate philosophy that run together with the digitalization. Jadi yang penting tu supaya bisnes itu berterusan aja, bukannya untuk perform the highest possible. Jadi itu observation saya mungkin fill up sebab I have no direct experience with farmer, but yeah, but at least that's what I observe from at least from news. Yeah.
Okay, how about question from audience? Yeah, I think
Ada
all-
Rosi.
Huh?
Ada
Iya.
Rosi yang cute banget.
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum, selamat siang Pak Satijal, Pak
Oke, selamat siang
Donat,
Rosi ya.
terhormat Profesor Abu Hanifah.
Ya.
Kebetulan dua yang terhormat Pak Donar sama Pak Satijal nih promotor saya, Pak izin saya baru muncul kembali. Baik,
Oke, silakan Bu Rosi ya.
perihal topik ini cukup menarik mengenai digital economic and global commerce. Di sini I just want to know and I just want to sharing about advantage of the digital economy. And the digital economic is set to carry more weight in the future as the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, So some of the advantage is over are like information maybe, and then global presence, and then security. So the question is, what do you think about our country? Like it's Indonesia. As a developing country that still needs development in terms of technology, infrastructure, and others. So, but how important EA or artificial intelligence is today for us in Indonesia? Because we still need a lot of improvement in Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bu Rosi. Yeah, very hard question, yeah. Very good question, yeah. Okay, who will give answer first? Maybe Prof. Abu Hanifah.
Okay, so I think at least this is from Malaysian experience. I believe
Yeah.
kalau mau dibilang way forward, I think it should start from the government, because government yang set the the direction. So I still remember when Malaysia introduced or started to talk about internet. So it was 1997, if I'm not mistaken. So during that time, government aggressively doing campaign over the television, just to let people know what is internet. And from that, government are the one yang set the infrastructure. They are the one yang build or construct the telecommunication antenna or all the infrastructure. Then it follows suit by the corporations or the companies. Back to your question, it's simply because that's the nature at least in Malaysia, emerging countries like Malaysia, and I believe Indonesia is no different, because corporations or private companies, they are not brave enough to venture or start new things without government support. Jadi I think government kena start dulu. Okay, just like if you want to venture into EV, electronic ataupun electric car, right? Or electric vehicle, for example. I'm very interested. I mean, my wife, last weekend we went to visit a EV or electric car exhibition, and my wife, she wanted to buy one. But I told her that you can buy, but you need to think on where to charge, what are infrastructure provided by the government, the charging station, etc. So same goes to do digitalization. If we want to improve the digital infrastructure, we cannot entirely hope private companies to do that on our behalf and charge citizens. No, although they can make good money out of that, but they're not willing to venture if they don't have strong backup from the government. So I think in the context of Malaysia, and again, no different than Indonesia, government should start and investing in digital infrastructure, then only the private corporation or private companies are willing to provide the following or follow suit services. So start with the government, and then the benefit, or the private corporation will follow suit. Thank you.
Okay, maybe from Pak Donar.
It will be very short. Sekarang kita berada di era society 5.0, and 5.0 here means that innovation. So in the past, it is enough for Minangkabau people to possess information. Those who possess information are leaders. For example, in Tanah Abang, you know about the supplier, about the customers, about the producers. These are enough. But in the society 5.0, these are not enough. What we need is innovation. And AI, artificial intelligence, is one of them. One of the ways to enhance innovation. So it is important for Indonesian government, for example, to decide whether they want to accelerate innovation through AI or not. Because in Western perspective, more often than not, perhaps they see AI, artificial intelligence, as not a way, but it is like one of their objectives to change the world, something like that. Thank you, Rosie.
Okay, maybe any addition, from Pak Maruf, additional answer,
Maybe Dr. Desi.
First, okay. Okay.
That's good enough. That's very good.
Good enough. Yeah. Okay. Any question? Yeah. Yeah. Or quiet mean understand. Very understand. Yeah. Very paham, ya. Yeah.
Jadi Pak, artinya
Ya.
AI ini adalah lebih kepada teknologi yang membantu sebagai support system yang dimana pekerjaan manusia untuk mencari informasi dan lain-lain digantikan oleh si AI itu sendiri. Cuman cuman kan yang kita tahu ya bahwa salah satu keunggulan dari digital ekonomi ini, digital ekonomi yang AI ini beberapa tadi dikatakan untuk security, pengamanan. Salah satunya adalah internet banking, transaksi yang lebih aman. Tapi yang kita tahu ini Indonesia itu masih perlu banyak perubahan, masih perlu banyak perkembangan, improvement untuk melakukan ini. Makanya apakah se-efektif itukah bahwa AI itu di Indonesia dibuat ya seperti itu? Karena yang kita tahu masih Indonesia sebagai negara berkembang yang memang masih perlu banyak perbaikan. Jadi artinya apakah memang karena sekarang zamannya society 5.0 ya sudah kita ikuti gitu seperti itu. Jadi hanya sebagai support system aja AI ini.
Iya benar, maksud saya untuk merespon singkat, kita harus melihat dari perspektif yang bahwa perubahan itu pasti menimbulkan gejolak ya, atau bahkan bisa jadi resistance to change, dan bisa jadi memang akan berubah atau bahkan bisa digantikan. Saya berikan contoh ya, Bu Rosi. Di penggunaan chatbot
GPT.
itu kan artificial intelligence
Ya.
di banyak small business menggunakan chatbot untuk menggantikan layanan, sehingga ketika ada customer bertanya ada automatic reply, something like that, right? Jadi semakin banyak pertanyaan yang seragam, yang sama, itu akan di-reply oleh chatbot itu otomatis dengan respon yang sama, begitu kan? Itu kan untuk memudahkan customers menikmati layanan dari SME tadi. Pertanyaannya adalah apakah SME itu mendapat manfaat dari chatbot itu, atau itu hanya semacam gimmick atau semacam berbangga sudah menjadi bagian dari teknologi ini. So the question is about how can these SMEs benefit from AI, from chatbot for example, or apakah AI ini hanya menjadi bagian dari katakanlah desain yang lebih besar yang mungkin hanya bermanfaat bagi large organizations, not SMEs. Tapi pertanyaan itu sejauh mana SMEs ini bisa memanfaatkan AI secara efektif sebagai bagian dari inovasi yang lebih besar. Gitu.
Oke, any question? Ya, jadi apa namanya, nanti dengan AI dokter bisa digantikan oleh robot, ya. Jadi, jadi key in any information, any symptom, and then robot akan produce diagnosis, or this patient got this illness, ya.
Ujian bisa pakai robot, Pak, ujian.
Iya, makanya nanti kita harus ini ya, ujiannya harus jawab di kertas lembar lagi, nggak bisa pakai ya.
Iya, Pak.
Oke, saya pikir kalau tidak ada, ya, if there's no more question, I think we have reached the end of this seminar, ya. I don't want to make conclusion, yeah, because already clear, yeah, that currently we are in 4.0 era, yeah, especially COVID, yeah. The present of COVID make digitalization 5 years earlier than should be, yeah. Yeah. If there is no COVID, yeah, I think the digitalization still small, yeah, not as much as this now, yeah, not as much as currently, yeah, like previously Prof. Bonipa present the data how every country can benefit, yeah, from this digital economy, yeah. This is because one thing because of COVID actually, yeah. Yeah, if there is no COVID, maybe the volume of digital business economy maybe half, yeah, maybe less than half, yeah, from current condition, yeah. Okay. Of course, yeah. Because of this, we already in this condition, yeah. There is no choice. Yeah, we should just try to as much as possible to take advantage, yeah, and then try to try to solve any kind of challenge, any kind of constraint, yeah, any kind of barrier, yeah, that can that can prevent us to take benefit, yeah, from this digitalization, yeah. Okay, I think that's all. Our international seminar for today's, yeah. Thanks very much to Prof. Abu Hanifah, who have a good sharing, yeah, with us this morning, yeah. Hopefully this is not the last cooperation, yeah, with Andalas University, yeah. We hope we can broaden, we can extend, with other, with any other kind of collaboration. Like Pak Donald said, maybe we need to do some research collaboration, incubation.
E-incubation.
Why not? Yeah, incubation. Yeah. We actually have a good emotional relationship with University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Yeah, we have friends there. Yeah, maybe there are our senior in economy also graduated from University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Yeah.
Sorry, Pak Safiza, sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
Talking about collaboration, I would like to inform that between
Pak Maruf,
and
Gitu.
UKM, we are under the consortium of, we call it MISEMA. MISEMA stands for Malaysia Indonesia International Collaboration for Economic Management and Accounting. It is under the umbrella of UKM, collaborate with several universities from Indonesia, and the nearest agenda is international conference next month in Pancasila University in Jakarta. So I think under that we can collaborate under that consortium collaboration. So this is just to inform you that we already have the umbrella for further collaboration.
Okay, thank you for the information, Pak Maruf. Okay, again, thank you very much for Prof. Abu Hanifah who have provided your time to give sharing with us this morning. Thank you very much for Dr. Donald Games. Who
We will take picture together, sir.
Okay, actually, okay. Okay, all of participants, open your camera. Now we take the photo session. Okay, now the first slide. The first slide. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, now we go to the second slide. Open the camera. All of participants. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Now we reached the end of this seminar. Thank you to especially for Prof. Abu Hanifah, and then to Pak Donald Games, to Pak Maruf and Bu Desi, and thank you to all of the participant, lecturer, PhD student, master student, and other participant, who cannot, who cannot tell one by one, for this seminar, by saying Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, we close this seminar. Thank you very much for the participant, for the speaker and pembahas. Terlebih kurang mohon maaf. Billahi taufik wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih semua.
Makasih banyak
Terima kasih.
Thank you,
Pak Abu Hanifah, Pak Dona, Pak Maruf, Bu Desi,
Terima kasih
semuanya. Oke.
Izin live. Assalamualaikum.
Makasih.
Have a nice day.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.